Hello, I'd like to welcome all of our new kindergarten families to Louise White School. First, there's some very important people that I'd like to introduce you to. First of all, our teachers. We have Miss Facconi and Mrs. Bergman as our kindergarten teachers. Miss Facconi has an AM and a PM section, and Mrs. Bergman has an AM section only. Our enrichment teachers are Mrs. Espinoza and Mrs. Steinis. Mrs. Espinoza will be sharing students with Miss Facconi, while Mrs. Steinis will share students with Mrs. Bergman. Here's our school office staff. There's me, Dr. Scomer, the principal. The main school secretary is Mrs. Wallerstein, and Mrs. Versillo is our lead campus monitor. You may talk to her in the office at some times as well. Mrs. Wiewetzer is our school nurse, and Mr. Kasamas is our school custodian. Our school day runs from 9 o'clock to 3:30, and that's for all students. We open our school doors at 8:45 for students to enter the building. Students should not be dropped off prior to 8:45 as there is no supervision prior to that time. The school day for kindergartners is structured into three main parts: the morning from 9 to 11:30, the midday from 11:30 to 1, and the afternoon from 1 to 3:30. We have two sections of morning kindergarten. Those students will attend class in the morning and will go to the enrichment class in the afternoon. We have one section of afternoon kindergarten which will attend class in the afternoon and enrichment in the morning. All students will eat lunch, have recess, and participate in supervised activities during that midday block. Communication between home and school is very important. Our school office is open from 8:30 to 4:30, so please feel free to give us a call at 630-937-8500 and during those times, and someone will be here to answer your questions. Our attendance line is open 24 hours, so if you need to call your child in sick, you can do so at any time at 630-937-8503. Just leave a message there and we'll make sure we get it in the morning. Important school information and events are sent home weekly on Fridays via email. These emails are sent through PowerSchool, so it uses the email address that you have entered into PowerSchool on your child's account. If you accidentally delete a message, all of those messages are stored in the news section of our school website, and I'll show you that in just a second. Our school website is lws.bps101.net. And if you go to that website, you'll notice the news section there on the right. If you click on that tab, all of our school messages are archived there. There's a new feature also this year. You can have any message translated into one of 125 different languages. All you need to do is select language by clicking on that little box there, and it'll change the language of the message from English to one that's more comfortable for you to read. Let's talk about lunch. Our kindergartners have lunch from 11:50 to 12:10, followed by a recess from 12:10 to 12:30. All of our kindergartners have lunch and recess together. If you'd like your child to get a lunch at school, you're going to need to set up a lunch account through School Cafe. You do that by going to our school website, clicking on the Parents tab, and then select Online Payments. That'll take you to to a spot where you can select School Cafe. Once you've done that, you'll need to create an account for yourself. All you need to do is enter Batavia Public Schools right down here at the bottom, and then it'll walk you through the process. You will need your child's ID number in order to complete the process, and that can be found in PowerSchool. All of our monthly menus for breakfast and for lunch can be found on the website in that parents section, as well as a lot of information about our school lunch program. So if you go to that, click on that menus site, you can see that's where you'll grab the elementary menu for lunch or for breakfast or for lunch. And under that Quest Dining Program link, you can find all of the information, full information about our school lunch program. If it's possible, we would recommend that you send a lunch with your child for the first couple of days of school as they get used to the process of coming into the lunchroom. Once we get through that, then we can teach them how to go through the lunch line and get their lunch. Now let's talk about how children get to school and home from school. If your child is taking the bus, there will be staff members assigned to meet the buses on the first few days of school to help our students learn where they go once they get off the bus. We will also have staff members escort our students to their bus at the end of the day in the afternoon. If you're bringing your child to school, you'll bring them to the kindergarten door in the morning and meet them there in the afternoon. You'll see this is the main entrance to the school here. Around the corner, next to the garden, is our kindergarten entrance right here. So that is where you'll bring students in the morning and pick them up in the afternoon. We recommend that at least for the first couple of days of school, you park your car and bring your child in the morning and meet them there in the afternoon, at least until they get more comfortable with the routines and where they can find you. Once they're comfortable, you can feel free to use the car line for pickup and drop off. Now let's talk about how pickup and drop off works. First of all, be aware the car line does not begin here at the main entrance to the school. That entrance is for buses only to give them direct access to the Circle Drive. You need to enter here at that second entrance, the parking lot entrance, and follow the flow of traffic. Now, especially on inclement weather days, the car line is crowded, so please be patient when you're in the car line. As children can be unpredictable, it is also essential that you are fully aware and present when in the car line. So please refrain from using cell phones during pickup and drop off. You'll follow the flow of traffic around here, and once your car is in this boxed area, and that's about 5 or 6 cars in that area will fit into that area, that is when you would let students out of your car or take them into your car at pickup. It's best if your child can enter and exit from the driver's side of the vehicle to avoid having them exit the vehicle into an area where there are cars here in the parking lot who may be coming and going. If your child needs assistance getting into or out of the car, go back to that park and meet method rather than trying to use the pickup and drop off line. Finally, I'd just like to share a little bit of information about our parent teacher organization. First of all, everybody is a member of our parent teacher organization just by being a member of our school. And the main goal of this organization is really fundraising with a focus on family fun and community building rather than just having kids sell things or go to door to raise money. We really try to focus our fundraising on those areas which bring our community closer together. Good way to link up with the PTO is to friend them on Facebook. I also send a lot of information about the PTO home in our weekly newsletters. I know I gave you a lot of information here, and I'm sure I didn't answer everybody's questions. So, as you have more questions, please either see me or anyone in the office when you come to visit the school, or give us a call 630-937-8500. You can also shoot me an email directly at the email address there. I look forward to getting to know your child and getting to know you. And I welcome you to our school community.